is great. The Storm Spirit's great. The Spirit Breaker is great. And he's just going to have that presence all over the place if you pick a hero like that. So this is one of the cases where I'd say Lifestealer would be really good.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. See you very soon, Amplfy. 1 minute reserve time left, just about. That Lifestealer for 496. Gonna be pretty annoying for Amplfy if it does get picked up. I mean, you could also go really greedy if you wanted, right? You could go for the Spectre. That's another kind of bit of global presence. The Amplfy, they'll go for the Earth Spirit, which is a hero we haven't seen come out of them yet. And I do love the shakeup with both these two teams. At the very least, it's a bit hard to know what to expect from either side now. I've got to say, so far though, I do think I prefer Amplfy's draft just a bit more. But the thing is with 496 is it just gets better as the draft goes on. You just kind of wait it out and see what else is coming.
I can see where you're coming from with Amplfy's draft. That Earth Spirit is going to cause issues for that Storm Spirit. Of course, if you get that good Silence Off, there's nothing really the Storm Spirit can do. You can kind of kick through the trees as well, really pull your teammates out of any issues caused by the Nature's Prophet. So there is a lot of value in that Earth Spirit pick, but 496 decided to go with a Juggernaut. That's I'll be frank, it is kind of disappointing. We have seen the Juggernaut do a lot of work, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad hero in its own right. It's just that this was a prime case for a game where the Lifestealer really would have shined, especially if you were going to play aggressive early. But with that Jug, it does seem like they're going to have to buy some space for that hero to get big, and it's not going to be too active of a pos one. I mean, he probably will be trying to playing aggressive in his own lane. Whether or not they send their Jug around, whether Vivian will teleport around to secure those early kills, will, it remains to be seen. But it should still do the work. If you farm up fast enough in Jug, you can cause issues for the Raid King, you can clear out those summons quite well, and you can catch out the enemy heroes quite nicely. So it's a safe pick from 496, not the riskiest, and it does get the job done. It's just that kind of core. The Juggernaut never being too risky of a pick always works out in the end.
It certainly does. We do see the Grimstroke last ban coming out from Amplfy, which is pretty interesting. Almost feels like they're assuming it'll be a Spirit Breaker or Nature's Prophet core coming out from the side of 496, though it doesn't... I kind of doubt that. Then again, Amplfy again would know better than us. 496 now, one final ban for them, and they are definitely looking for... It can switch around for Amplfy, but you'd assume it'd be an offlane hero they're looking for now as their last pickup. They will get rid of the Omni Knight, which is a pretty nice ban, I feel like. Would have really make it pretty hard for 496 to dive and be aggressive towards Amplfy if they had the Omni.
Radiant team pick.
They'll go for the Oracle pickup. Okay, so it is a core Nature's Prophet or Spirit Breaker, one of the two.
Yeah, I would much prefer the Nature's Prophet core. We have seen the Spirit Breaker core before. It didn't really work out, and Amplfy ties up their draft with the Beastmaster. That's great. They really needed one solid way of holding down that storm. You have that in spades now. I mean, you already had the Silence from the Earth Spirit, the stun from the Raid King, the Chance from the Ember, but having that long-range stun from the Beastmaster, very long disable, is going to be useful. It is worrying you did pick that into the Oracle support, so you will have to watch out for the timing if you're stunned, because otherwise the Oracle can just save his cores.
Let's see how it pans out, John. I'd like to ask you, I mean, the drafts are over now. Looking at both these drafts, who do you think came on top? Because there is a lot on the line for either side. Who do you think just came out a little bit better in terms of draft?
I would say 496. I honestly like this draft a lot. Again, just that first 3 heroes they picked up, the opening is really big. We have seen Storm Spirits win out against the Ember Spirits in mid, and if 458, he has been playing quite well. If he can pull that off, that would be a massive win. The Ember Spirit will have to play catch-up for him. We have seen the Raid Kings as well, right? They don't generally come online too fast. They always go for the Midas, always go for the Radiance next. That just kind of slows down the timing. Compare that to a Juggernaut who goes for maybe Drums, Yasha, or Diffusal, and then they're kind of shoving out waves at the very least. They get active a bit earlier on, and I have to tell you, it's like, it is quite nice from 496. Again, they have this nice pushing draft as well, but at Nature's Prophet Corp being played by red. And you don't have the best wave clear coming out from Amplfy, at least on your supports. They're not going to be able to push back this push potential from 496 with just their supports. They're going to have to commit a rotation out from their cores every time their lanes are shoved in. And at some point, you just can't keep up, especially against the Nature's Prophet.
Oh, fair enough. Should be getting into this game pretty darn soon. So again, so much on the line. One misstep from 496, and that'll be pretty much it for them. Mineski obviously feeling the same way, though they're on the mainstream, I believe, right now.
This guy has no chill, man.
Get into it.
Yes, I just did that.
Yo, this guy has no chill, man. Yo, this guy has no chill, man. Unbelievable what we're seeing.
Always so much all chat at the start of the game. Always good to see between these two. Everyone showing off their sets.
Well, you know, it is going to be that Storm Spirit, Ember Spirit matchup. I am actually keen to see again. I expect 458 to be able to pull it off, but Carl is no slouch either on the Ember. We'll see if 458 can really get that advantage, but this mid lane matchup is going to be key to setting the pace in the game. Whichever one gets shafted is really going to be the one that's going to be slower in the pace. You want to really get that good start on for either of these heroes. Very snowball-based heroes as well.
It was Amplfy that took a game off Ginnisprus before, right?
Yeah, I do believe so. Yes, that was Amplfy.
Yeah, I remember Carl on like Queen of Pain was doing a crazy good job. I wonder if he can replicate it this time around on the Ember though. We'll find out very soon. I mean, the Storm Spirit's not going to be the easiest lane in the world, but who knows? Yeah, so you're going to say hello to a bat, Jo. We'll get the cold feet going. Looks like there will be a freeze going on. BDZ even rolling in on the Earth Spirit, though. There is support behind. And now, actually, Yassi just going to move in once again onto BDZ, who is being blocked up by those treants. A bat has another Wraith Fire Blast. They want to try and go for this first blood. They will have another roll as well into the cold feet, and it should be it. Yassi, he will finally go down after a very long time. A bat will be the one to pick it up on the Wraith King.
Yeah, that's a nice way to start it off. For Amplfy, again, they did commit a lot of resources down bot to make that happen. So they managed to get that nice kill, and that does set them off to a pretty good start. And 496, you know, it's not the biggest loss in the world. They can just rush in Yassi without expending a TP. But, you know, you already have BDZ rotating, trying to find that courier.
Very close call as well, though. He does cop a fair bit of damage from that tier 2, and now 458 doesn't actually go for the Earth Spirit, doesn't waste his time. He will just dish out the harassment towards Carl on the Ember.
You have been denied.
That was a very close call, though, on that courier, and would have been a real headache for 458 had it gone down. Of course, top lane, we haven't really looked at this one yet, but Vivian is there on the jug and does get rolled on straight away. Ryo will just try and block up, though. Nice Fortune's End comes out, and it looks like that'll be the end of that. That BB saving Vivian from dying as well on the side of 496. And Vivian is farming pretty decently as well. Ryo struggling on the Beastmaster right now, but with BDZ around, looks like he will be able to catch up a bit.
Yeah, and BDZ on this Earth Spirit has done so much work. He's already, you know, he secured that kill down bot. He tried to make some space in mid, and he pretty much applies so much pressure up top that this Earth Spirit is going to be doing a lot of work if he keeps this pace up.
Roll in Vivian. Going to be the target once again, though. There isn't a kickback yet. There's still only level 2 on, or level 1 on BDZ. Still a lot of damage being dealt to Vivian. He doesn't have another salve available, so he'll have to go through his tangos now. That BB not really in a position yet either to really try and heal him up with those purifying flames. Vivian still managing to find the farm regardless. He'll play on the edge with his HP. Back to that mid lane. Carl actually asked for a high five right now, but 458 will not give him one. Looks like 458 has been falling behind just slightly. Only by about 2 last hits. But Carl, so far so good for him. I mean, just trying his best to harass Carl as much as he can. In fact, Vortex is going to be decent underneath the T1 tower, but Carl actually avoids that static remnant though. He might still go down. One stick charges will be enough. 458 should drop here. BDZ. Can he find him though? Not quite. The Fairy Fire was there, and now the Fortune's End. Everyone just barely surviving with their HP. Carl will just go back in with the 458 though. Now another Vortex coming out. That BB does have Purifying Flames to throw out, but doesn't have the Fortune's End available. So with that, again, everyone falls very low, but nobody really going down in the mid lane.
Yeah, they understand the importance of these two heroes having a good time. They commit so many resources to keep each other alive as well. That was 2 salves going out from 458. And, you know, nothing is lost, nothing is found. But the supports are definitely copying the short end of the stick here.
They certainly are. Looks like BDZ will rotate back into that mid lane. Just wants to really ensure Carl gets that lane he wants. Does give the Ember Spirit a salve as well to ensure he just remains there. And Carl is slowly but surely getting a bigger and bigger lead.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Nice fortify on the creep as well. And he does get the deny off in the end on the range creep, so it's a very nice play from Carl. Top lane, Ryo has been left by himself again, which has allowed Vivian to keep farming up pretty darn well. Ryo has caught up in farm himself, but you've always got to be concerned with these junks because they get to a certain point where they just become unstoppable to deal with. Meanwhile, though, bot lane, a bat, he does fall very low. Looks like Red will be the same. Skeleton's still following him around, and now Jo almost taken down by Yassi, but, well, charge will come in. Slow is there from the Chilling Touch. Yassi should be able to find this kill, and does do so. And now a bat going to be in trouble. He does get slowed up by Yassi. And there's Red there as well with the follow-up damage. One more should do it, and they will find it in the end. Just great plays there from 496, really stretching those heroes to the limit. They will find 2 very valuable picks.
Yeah, that's really how you want this lane to be going. That is a good showing of what exactly makes that Nature's Prophet so strong.
Well, they lose the 458 Storm Spirit though mid lane. BDZ again rolling in and finding the kill with Carl. Now Vivian risking his life for that banner rune, and it looks like he should be okay. He will just spin TP. That BB though may not be so lucky. He does get rolled on by BDZ, and now the body blocks to come. He does have Boulder Smash available now as well. But can you actually find it? Chilling Touch, the shrine's right there. That BB may not want to commit it though. BDZ definitely trying to force it out. Fortune's End won't be there in time, and they will shrine up anyway. He was just waiting for Vivian by the looks of it.
Yeah, you do manage to force out that resource, so if the storm does feel a bit tight, he's gonna have to go to the bot shrine by himself, which is fine, right? At least it's still up. But looking at that mid again, Carl has definitely taken over here. 29-6 compared to 458's 20-2. Not a good bit of news for the Storm, and you know he does have that 1 death as well. So this is a pretty decent start for Amplfy. They did trade first blood down bot, but they do get the follow-up onto that Storm, and again 458's not having a good time.
Yeah, Yassi, he also ends up going down at the bot lane, and now Red going to be in trouble. Does get rolled on and will go down. Meanwhile, Carl going to be in trouble now in the mid lane, though he turns around to 458. I'm not sure what he gets done here, though. His Flame Guard is gone. Chains. He's really playing on the edge, and he does end up going down. Very risky plays coming out from Carl. They do not pay off in the end.
You really have to watch it when you're playing like that as well. Again, the Storm Spirit is a hero that needs this early start. He was having it rough, but giving him kills like this does give him an opportunity to bounce back to parity.
Perhaps Carl, he may have just felt like he couldn't get away anyway because 458 did have the zip available, but not sure if that was the case. He'll return back into the lane anyway. He already had a remnant there. Vortex again, 458, gonna be aggressive. Carl will just turn around and give it back. Meanwhile, Red actually just rotated to the jungle on the Nature's Prophet.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
To start farming up by himself, and that'll give well, I say it should be free XP. Vivian, he will actually come down and farm up on the Jug now. So a bit of a lane switch going on. They don't want to have to deal with that Beastmaster up the top lane anymore. Meanwhile, there's a charge going on as well. Yassi, he's going to go after that Wraith King, but he TP's out to the top lane. He does not want to deal with the Jugger. Now Raw comes out from Ryo straight onto the Oracle, who's been left alone. And that BB doesn't really have a way out of this one. He tries to Fortune's End, but he is dead in the end. And a Bat will be the one to pick up the kill.
Yeah, that's a nice move coming out. Of course, once they had a Roar, they just find any kill they can find. The only one available was really that Oracle, but that should allow them to get a pretty good push into that top tier 1.
Zip in, top lane. Beastmaster going to be in trouble. Roll in from BDZ will not connect, but Abbat, he does get the Wraith Fire Blast. Still, Yassi going to charge in now as well. They really want this Wraith King before he has that Reincarnate. He has the Reincarnate, but no mana for it, and he will not pop the Mango either. He just understands he's going to die regardless. And so now 496 really start to have that global presence online. And this is that point where Amplfy, they need to perhaps slow it down and try not to take too many fights against this side, because you're pretty much going to have at least 3 or 4 heroes every time you get into engagement.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, that's the one thing, right? From the draft, we mentioned 496, they're going to have that response every single time. They have all the heroes in the world to get these global ganks on, and Yassi charged all the way down bot.
He's going after Jo, but Jo's going to be fine. In fact, he does get the cold feed off, and now Abbat just going to run in as well. Ooh, stun, not in range.
Boy.
He's still... Phase boots will be available soon, and BDZ comes in, and that'll be a very easy pick. But we've seen that a lot with Spirit Breakers recently, John, where they just never stop charging.
I'm not too sure what Yassi wanted to get done there. He charged through the tier 2, all the way down between that tier 3. It's like, buddy, you don't have a TP. But I guess when you're Spirit Breaker, you don't need TPs, Mike. You make your decision, you stick to it.
That's right. Don't ever quit. And so a 6-6 now. 2k net worth lead will remain though for 496, so they are sitting happy. Of course, Vivian is farming exceptionally well on the Jug, so everything going pretty darn well for the Dire side. Bat still yet to pick up the Midas on the Wraith King, so it's not going to be the greatest timing in the world for him. Of course, that last death up to the top lane definitely didn't help his cause. Speaking of top lane, they are going to make the jump. Once again, Ryo going to be the target. He does help in the form of BDZ. He commits the Roar, but that's not going to be great news. And now 496 going for another target. Well, 458 does get himself out. Carl, what's he up to? There's a lot of heroes there. He does chain up, Sleight of Fist dodge on the charge. Again, this is very a confident play coming out from Carl, but he will remnant out in the end. And so just had confidence that they wouldn't be able to hold him down long enough. I suppose he does get out with the Bound Rune as well.
Yeah, that's something at the very least for Amplify, but they are losing a lot of ground here. Again, with the draft they want to have their Wraith King up and running fairly soon. Again, we are seeing that Midas build coming out. It does look to be slightly late with Midas, but they did opt for the Phase Boots first. So we will probably be seeing that Midas in the next minute or two, and then the build up to the Radiance is next. And that's the key thing, the timing of that Radiance. If it's too late, it feels like you just don't get anything done.
BDZ setting up top lane, does commit the Magnetize, but it won't be enough. Ryo has to back out, he doesn't have the damage, and now Yassi going to roam in as well. Onto BDZ, he gets another strike off, and they'll find the kill.
Neutral creep.
Oh, never mind, it was a deny. I didn't quite catch that one.
Oh man, that's tight.
They find another anyway. They did end up finding Ryo in the end. They knew he'd be running towards the shrine. It was on cooldown anyway. And Amplify, they really can't afford to play this kind of game with 496's draft once again, because you're always going to have so many heroes there with this global presence. You can't afford to take these team fights early.
You really can't, especially since, again, you're still buying space for your rating, who will not join you anytime soon, because he only just picked up his Midas. It's still flying out to him. So he has that sub 12-minute Midas, working towards that Radiance more than likely next. And again, he has to spend all this time farming it up, because if it comes out too late, your impact as Wraith King is just nearly negligible.
Nice blast, they're going on the Storm. Nice stun in from BDZ, though False Promise will be there in the nick of time, and now he turns around straight onto BDZ. He will find the kill, and should be perfectly fine as well. The False Promise, yep, keep him alive. And again, this draft from 496 just seems so darn powerful right now. Just you can't even find one target on the side of 496 without giving away at least one of your own. And even then, like you saw just then, they don't actually find anything.
Yeah, you, again, have to be careful with these fights you're forcing out. from Amplfy, because 496 at this point can respond to any single threat. They are online much earlier than you are, because they're not playing 4p1. I mean, Vivian has farmed well, but he's not holding back from joining these fights now. He TPs in when there's pressure. He tries to help out this team. He has a Maelstrom coming out now as well, so his damage is going to be amped up. It gets much, and it keeps constantly getting more risky as you try to jump this Storm. You have to get that perfect initiation on him if you want to keep him down.
Yep, certainly so. Storm as well. Has struggled a slight bit in terms of net worth, but 458 is starting to come online. Meanwhile, Carl's going to be charged up, and there's a TP coming in from the Prophet, though. No, they'll cancel that off. The charge, though, still going. And he'll actually Remnant straight towards the Storm. And now Remnant's back out. Carl, the charge, he avoids it as well. He actually gets the chains off. Now the Ice Blast. Where's it flying to? It'll fly through the heroes of 496. That was a very, very close call for our Ember, but he does manage to avoid all those heroes. It's just a matter of running away as much as possible.
And we are now at the 69. Although they might find a bot's first life at the very least.
Stun will come out. Do they continue chasing 458? He doesn't have much mana. Carl gonna find chains, but they won't last long. And BDZ, he does miss the roll. Cold Feet won't latch on either, and Ryo won't commit the roar either. He'll just hold on to it. And I guess there's just really no point. While that BB is there on the Oracle, it's just going to be very, very hard to get a kill, even if you do commit the roar. And so Ryo would rather just hold on.
Yeah, you really... It's hard for you to get that roar and guarantee the kill, because again, False Promise will just dispel that stun. So you can't even commit too hard for a support, because if the Oracle's around, you're probably not getting that kill.
Well, everything still going very swimmingly for the Dire's side. Orchid up on red already on the Nature's Prophet. That is a pretty darn fast Orchid.
He's going for the Midas next. That's an interesting item order for him. But he has been super active in the map. They do need additional damage, additional control. That does give it to them, and they might catch him out though. Oh no.
Does get the Sprout off. He was expecting it. They had the Observer Ward up on the high ground anyway from the Dire. Does actually give vision. The Radiance timing is going to be a bit off as well. Bat, he's not really that close to the Sacred Relic right now. Still needs about 1.2k gold for that.
Yeah, and again, it's going to be a while until he's ready. This is really the case with Raid Kings.
Still top of the net worth board, which is kind of funny. The fact that he's going to have a slower timing. In fact, Jo mid lane does end up finding Yasuo. Or, excuse me, Yassi.
They threw out 4 heroes for that. They used the Roar as well just to kill off a support Spirit Breaker. Not the ideal situation, but they knew the Oracle wasn't around for that one. So they just take whatever kills they can get. And, you know, before talking about anything pertinent, Mike, I want to point out where I'm looking right now. There's an Observer Ward next to a Sentry, which you can't see because, well, it's hidden by the trees, so they can't get that D-Ward off. If you click on the OBS from the other side, it doesn't actually have vision on that ward, which is a bit awkward.
That's going to be a bit frustrating for the side of Amplfy. As if things weren't already, they do zip in mid lane. Jo going to be the target. Looks like he should go down fairly quick, and does. They silenced up the Ember. So now, can you take down Carl? Well, there'll be a roll in from BDZ onto Yassi. Still, there's a lot of heroes here from 496, and Carl, he's still going in. Now he wants to get out of the situation, though. He's been controlled up, and he does go down. BDZ will have the same fate. And with that, a 7-12 9 496, they're all over this game, John. They've already found the T1 and T2 bot. They find the T1 mid, and they go straight in to that T2 mid as well. And if this keeps up, this could be a very, very quick game.
I mean, you don't have the tools to respond yet from Amplfy. Again, you don't have that Radiance up just yet. They're still going to need a blink on that Raid King once it's up. And even, so before then, you're playing 4v5, basically, because Vivian's ready to fight. He's got that Yasha, got that Maelstrom up. He's not slowing down. He's really just not even farming too much, although he's doing quite well in farm. He's all around the map trying to find these fights, and he might get jumped here. Rio.
Raw is there. Oracle, as they know, isn't at the area right now. Can they TP in time? Vivian, he does go for the Omni. That'll buy some space. Healing Ward was placed as well. Now the rest of the side trying to come in. The Zip, they go after Ryo on that Beastmaster, and he's pretty much screwed. They just get the Wraith King out of there. Now, well, that'll be it. 496 again. It's just so hard because they keep trying to find these solo pickoffs, but again, with a global lineup like this, you can be there so quick from the side of 496 to help out. And just the Omni Slash was enough to buy Vivian that time.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate, right? You had to take that chance to try to find this high priority target. But, you know, he still had that Omni Slash up. He had a lot of creeps in the area. He just bounced around. His Nature's Prophet TP's in, his Spirit Breaker charges in, you have everyone else rotate in as well. And that was your best shot at killing Vivian off. He didn't have the Oracle around. It was still not enough. So you really start to wonder, what will it take from Amplfy? And they have a lot more they have to itemize on. I mean, Carl on this Ember, he had a good time early on, but his farm is definitely not there anymore. He needs to pick up the farm in the Ember to do the damage, to play on the edge safely. And again, you're waiting on that Wraith King to pick up his Radiance and the Blink and anything else, because just the Radiance Blink is, you know, it just doesn't compare. It's just a bit too slow. It's not going to be enough just yet. It's an investment for the long term.
Certainly is taking a bit of time here. Of course, in comparison, you look at Vivian, although he's lower in net worth, he just feels like he has so much more. He's going to be picking up that Mantle Style next, and it will be coming up pretty soon as well. He just needs about 1k for that Ultimate Orb. And after that, it looks like he wants to go straight into the Eye of Skadi. It's going to make him a very, very tanky kind of target to go for as well. It's already hard enough to kill anyone off on the side of 496 Gaming for Amplfy, let alone once he has that Eye of Skadi up. The Radiance, at the very least, does now complete on a bat. He's just bringing the recipe out on the Courier, and it looks like they intend to go for a very, very quick smoke afterwards. Bot lane Carl, though, going to be charged up, so perhaps Carl just baiting out for his side. Don't know, they do cancel off the charge. Or no, apparently they don't. Zip in, Carl does get the chains off. Vortex is there, though, and they just find the kill. BDZ, he tries to come in, but now he's screwed. They roar up the Oracle. They want to try and take down that BB. Ice Blast will come in. They will get the Oracle. Now 458 almost goes down, but not quite. And now the Omni will fly through absolutely everybody. And they do find Ryo. Red will go down as a consolation, I suppose. But can they find any more? Amplfy, they're still moving forward with a bat. He still has the reincarnation. Yassi, meanwhile, going straight after Jo, though won't quite get there. In fact, no, never mind. 70% does kicked in. Now BDZ will be able to roll away at least. Does have a charge available.
Yassi?
Oh, Yassi will actually get his CP cancelled off. He'll get the kill on the Earth Spirit, but he looks like he's going to die anyway. And it looked weird, John, but for the side of Amplfy, you know, giving away your life like that for the Spirit Breaker would be well worth it. And that was actually a 4-for-4 trade. Though a big gold swing will go the way of the Radiant.
Yeah, that's a very big win for Amplfy. They did manage to get that aggression on. They were coalescing on the area where 496, they were trying to set up on Carl earlier. Oh, Carl.
Yeah, Carl keeps getting caught out like this, so surely he has a Remnant out, and yeah, he does. Are they going to go for another smoke? They've grouped up again, and yeah, they'll try it. Mid lane, Vivian, that'll be a great target. Where's that BB, though? He's around the area with the false promise. They have the roar, but you know that Oracle's going to go down before you can even try for the jug. Make matters worse now, 458 just picks up a BKB, so he's got a 10-second charge ready to go as the team fight's about to start. Amplfy, they're going to loop around. They want that BB, they do find it with the chains, but they don't jump. And that's going to reveal the smoke from Amplfy, and now 496, they may go for a counter smoke. I don't even think they need the smoke, they could probably just run in at this rate. Radiant Courier as well, going down, so the Vladimir's recipe was on that.
That's going to be a bit of a blow to Amplify. They would like that added regen, added armor, but it's not going to be up, unfortunately, for Rio. Courier was sniped, so gonna have to wait that duration out. And there is a smoke from 496.
There is. Who do they go for though? Looks like the aim of the game here is to just avoid a bat until the last target. Find everybody else around him. Especially Carl on that Ember is a nice target. In fact, Ryo, why not start with him? You have the vision, you just jump him like that. Looks like BDZ will roll in, but there's the BKB coming up from 458. Magnetize committed, but it's going to do absolutely nothing. BDZ will end up going down. Now 496, happily going to go for that Roshan attempt, and there's going to be really no contestation coming out from the side of Amplfy. You just can't.
It's going to go down way too fast for them to head into anyway. Even if they wanted to try with Carl, it is risky. They will try to check, but they're held back by the sports.
Well, Ice Blast going to at least find the Oracle. Now they're going to move their way in, but there's the Roshan going down, and now you definitely don't want to fight though. A bat does get jumped on. Nether Strike was there. And with that, a bat, first life does go down. Does he have the help? A bat, he's going to try and fight with BDZ. The Omni Slash, though, is there. BDZ will tank all that Omni Slash, and now the Roar. They will find the Aegis at the very least. Still, you had to commit the Roar for that. And now Carl gets caught out of the mid lane by himself. Looks like he was just trying to keep the supports at bay, but it ends up costing him his life. And with that, you see 496 happily running through the mid lane now. Trying to force out perhaps some buybacks, especially from Carl and that Ember. Just keep him down. And Amplfy is still just stuck. It's hard to know what they can actually do with this raid. Yassi gonna charge in. 458 as well. In fact, they'll back off. Oh no, a bat. He'll jump in by himself, going after Red. He has that reincarnation life, so he's confident to do this. And now Yassi, he'll be the target. A nice roll in from BDZ. And it looks like they will at least find one. Can they find any more though? Another nice roll from BDZ. He found Red, and that was all blind. He'll find another. That'll be 2 kills going to the way of the Wraith King. BDZ really setting up. I mean, I realize there are only 2 supports, but, well, excuse me, 1 core, 1 support, but still, it's going to mean a lot of gold again going to the Amplify, and they do claim their first T1 mid tower.
Yeah, and it looks like you're going to make a move on that BB as well.
That BB really has nowhere to go. He can false promise if he likes, but he actually will as well. Carl trying to go after the T1 tower while this is happening. I mean, he's almost guaranteed dead. He does get his TP cancelled as well. And he does go down, and to make matters worse, the T1 tower as well does go down. Again, another massive gold swing. In fact, mid lane now, they're still going a bat. Man fighting 458 on the Storm. The BKB comes out, and he loses his life as well. Ryo, he goes down. They didn't have reincarnation available. Looks like they got both lives off the Wraith King, and now 496 going to charge back in onto Carl. Chains will at least stop the charge, but now the Nether Strike will be afforded by the Slide. The Red will TP in, go straight after Jo on the AA. Does Ghost form up, but it doesn't matter. Yes, he has the Nether Strike and will take care of it. And so 15 to 25 now, and there's been so many little fights that it's hard to know who actually won in the end. But it does look like 496 will maintain their lead of 8k.
Yeah, they definitely hold on to that. They've gotten quite a fair bit from that. I think that one big kill on a bot is really the turning factor there. The fact that you lost your 18 doesn't make any of that worthwhile. And Carl, a bit forward, he does have Remnant, surely. Yeah.
He just takes down Red. He just picked up that Maelstrom on the Ember. And it's, again, not the greatest timing in the world, but at least it's going to help him out quite a bit in these team fights. Dish out that DPS he really needs.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Of course, a bat looks like he's going to pick up an Assault Cuirass soon. Just needs the plate mail up. But you look over to Vivian. The only are up. Ivescard, he's still on the way, but will be there soon. And after that, he has opted to try and go for a Basher. And so while his farm progression has slowed down a bit, he is still dishing out way too much damage for Amplfy to put up with in the team fights.
He definitely is. And again, you have to watch out from Amplfy. You have to keep that pressure up that you had earlier on. Take those kinds of fights. You have shown, they have shown signs of life. They have shown that they can play through that Aegis just fine. That the Raid King is ready to roll. He has that AC up now. So a bot is going to be much harder to pick off. And once that BKB is up, of course, he's just not going to be falling. He does go for the skeleton build as well. So those skeletons can shove out a lane quite hard if you leave them alone.
That's fair enough. I guess it's one of those win conditions they kind of need to make for themselves in this range. Carl mid lane will remnant out before the zip comes in, although the charge will still connect from Yassi, and he does Nether Strike straight off the bat. Do they jump in again, Carl? Yes, they will, but there's the Yules coming out, so he will avoid a lot of damage. And now the Sleight of Fist, he's trying to get out. Ice Blast on that BB. He's gone, though the Omni is doing a fair bit, but where the hell's that Chuck gone? He is going to go onto a bat by the looks of it, and meanwhile, Carl is still out of there somehow. 458, dropping pretty low. A bat actually ends up finding Vivian, and now the Storm Spirit as well goes down. Red, he's trapped up, he gets rolled on. It's gonna be a full team wipe. Out of nowhere from Amplfy. What the bloody hell's going on?
496 were forcing out a fight that they just couldn't take. They were fighting under that shrine, that pivotal area where a lot of things can go wrong. It's a teleportation point for Amplfy. So even if Carl's caught out alone, if you don't manage to kill him off, he's gonna have the support of everyone else. You can't kill off the Ember Spirit. He's gonna be alive, pumping out his damage. And again, you just overextend, overstay your welcome there. And that just gives a massive opening to Amplfy. They're going to be able to push in quite hard. Again, remember, that Raid King went for the skeletons on his talents. Those skeletons can nut these towers fast.
Yeah,
there you
they're
go.
Buy back. They aren't buying back on the side of 496. And, well, a bat looks like he will back off, but look at that T3 tower.
Oh, man.
Had Yassi not charged in like that, that T3 would be gone. In fact, it looks like it may actually still go down. They're going to at least trade for a tier 2 tower up the top lane as well, so Amplfy is still finding more. That'll leave one outer tower now left for the side of 496, and suddenly the game is so much more even. In fact, you look at that win probability chance, John, and it was looking pretty grim for Amplfy, but now it's rising back up. In fact, they do gain the advantage, 54% their way.
Yeah, this is, that was a pretty massive swing. Going to wave Amplfy, and again, you can't afford to do that as 496. You have a really nice lead. You had a pretty nice lead. You bleed it all the way back to Amplfy. You've made Raid King really big. He can't just straight up buy out his BKB fairly soon. So you can't even get that control onto a bot anymore. And again, he is an issue because you have no way of burning through his mana, despite him taking that skeleton talent. You don't have any way of burning through that mana because of what you've built up on your team. So you're always going to have to be dealing with those two lives. I think at this point, Vivian could just actually go for that defusal. Just burn through the mana, punish that greedy talent pickup from a bot, and then suddenly, you know, you take away a lot from that Raid King.
Well, so far he's not opting for that. We'll see if he does change his build up. I do agree with you, though, that that defusal would do a lot of work. Net worth lead now down to 2k for the side of 496. Just Amplfy dragging it all the way back. Vivian suddenly doesn't look so scary anymore on the jug. I mean, he's 5k behind the Wraith King. Of course, 458 as well. Just kind of dropping off in farm. 14.5k on him on the Storm. You have that Nature's Prophet to consider as well, and he has his own BKB up, but just with the Orchid alone, I don't feel like it's enough damage coming up from the Nature's Prophet, or Control for that matter. Looks like he'll go for a Nullifier next, though.
That is going to help, of course. That is pretty much an on-demand Doom with those two items up, and that does enable 496 to at least find the pickoffs if he does get the right target. That's going to be key here, although it's going to be hard to really hunt down Carl now. He has that Lincoln Sphere up. So you're going to have to be aware of that the next time you jump him. Otherwise, you're just going to be wasting that opportunity. If you do manage to pop that Lincolns, get the Nullifier off, for example, so the Yules is not going to be in factor, and then get the Silence off as well, it's going to be pretty hard for Carl to get out. In fact, I'd say you pretty much secure that kill. It just takes so much effort now from 496 compared to before.
Carl, gonna get jumped on. Lincoln's was broken. The Nether Strike did connect from Yassi, and now he will use up. Does he have a remnant out? Looks like he will just get out of there. Rest of his team, though, is smoked up. They're going to roll in straight onto that BB, and now, in fact, they're going to go after the Prophet. He will be KB up just in the nick of time, though. Red, can he get out, though? No! Basher will be there from a bat, and that'll be enough. 2 more go down for the side of 496. The Roshan is available to be taken. That's exactly where Amplfy is headed.
Yeah, this is really just going from bad to worse for 496. They have no way of contesting this now. And the Wraith King that usually has a timer, he's gotten away with so much, they've ignored him for so long, that a bot is suddenly just really big and uncontrollable. And that is a major issue. 496, they don't have the response. They went with Vivian going into that Scotty, but they can't punish that talent build from a bot. They are trying to build that Diffusal now. So perhaps once that's up, you can take away that second life from this Wraith King, but he has that basher. He can just bash you through BKB. You're never safe now in these fights. And they keep targeting that Oracle every single time. You cannot afford to lose that BB. You can lose anyone else. I think Oracle's actually key now to keeping your cores alive, to trying to get that advantage. But every time you lose that BB first, it's pretty much a lost fight.
Let's pause. A bit of awkward timing. It's 496. I mean, they may get a whiff of the Roshan going down, but it won't even matter. It goes down so darn quickly. They will take the cheese, as well as the Aegis. Shout out to Mineski, by the way, John, who did forget the cheese earlier on today.
Speaking of Mineski, Mike, I just want to update us on the current state of affairs. Mineski did win their match against RSG, so for 496 to even force out the tie, any sort of tie at all, 496 has to win this game. And the odds are growing worse and worse for that, of course. They've lost their lead entirely. They don't have a solution to the Wraith King just yet. They're getting torn apart. They keep losing that BB first. They have to be able to take these fights on their own terms while keeping their Oracle alive to cast that false promise and keep everyone healthy. Because if they can't do that, there's no fight to speak about. He needs to be able to save his cores, either the Juggernaut or the Storm. Maybe perhaps disarm the Wraith King as well. That would be lovely, but the main thing is keeping your own cores alive. And if you can do that, then perhaps you have a chance of winning out these fights. You should probably also wait out that Diffusal coming out from Vivian. That's going to be the key thing to slow down that Wraith King, because again, he went for a super greedy build. He has no defensive items. So if you can drain his mana, he's done.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Amplfy may want to make something happen right now with that Aegis, and looks like they may go for a smoke attempt. Carl is kind of by himself down at the bot lane, pushing out the lane towards that tier 2, so it looks like he may try to bait for the team. You do have an Aghanim Scepter now available on Jo, so that Ice Blast duration going to last so much longer.
Dire are
Still, you've got the BKBs ready on 496 to deal with it, but and I guess the Jug has to be pretty careful about it.
Dire structures are fortified.
Carl just solo pushing the bot lane again, just trying to bait the side of 496 in, but they aren't taking it. 458 just going to do Storm Spirit things and make sure he gets the creep waves pushed down to the mid lane. We'll go for the immediate TP play as well, so there'll be nobody to cancel it off. BDZ did not go for the blind roll this time around.
Dire's
At the very least, Carl does get Vortex up. Now the charge as well. He's copying a lot of damage. And, well, Sleight of Fist, he does eat the cheese and he will remain alive, at least for the moment. Ice Path, and he will remnant out. Tier 2 does go down as well, and here comes the rest of the cavalry. 458, he has no mana left. He gets Abyssal Bladed straight away from a baton now. He's in big, big trouble. How do you get him out? The false promise is there, but he's copped too much damage. Looks like he's going down. Meanwhile, in the back, Ryo gets set up on that BB as well. They've taken down 2 straight off the bat. The buyback is there, though. They zip back in. Can he get any work done with that Aghanim Scepter Vortex? Not quite. It's going to be a dieback on the Storm Spirit. Now the Omni comes up at 496. They're in big, big trouble. It looks like they might lose the Prophet as well, and they do. Vivian trying to man-fight everybody by himself. He's going to find a Bat's Reincarnation, but he cops the Ice Blast once again. The spin is there, but it won't matter. He goes down. He'll buy back as well. Yassi gets chained up. The roll did not connect. The Wraithfire Blast does, however. They'll get the T3 bot tower. A bat, he's sticking around. He still has the Aegis. Maybe trying to bait them in once again. 496 do not want to go out like this. Yassi charges in. The disarms are going to slow down this Wraith King quite a lot. So that BB, it's really his job to make sure Bat can't swing his sword. He's doing a decent job of it. Meanwhile, Red has been caught out by, well, I should say Red catches out BDZ, although he'll roll away. The charge is there anyway, so they'll find the Earth Spirit kill. And it looks like that is going to be enough to force the side of Amplfy to back off. Although the Storm Spirit is still down.
Yeah, this is still not a good situation for 496. If Amplfy does choose to force this issue out, oh, Red.
Red, Abyssal Blade is there from a bat.
Gone.
They found him, yeah. He commits the BKB. Not going to matter though, he does sprout up, but he is down. And he has no buyback. That was actually a dieback on the Prophet. Ooh, 496. How the tables have turned. Go in for that mid-racks. In fact, that BB goes down as well. Dieback on him.
Oh.
Now the Roar as well. They found the Spirit Breaker. They were way too forward. Yassi, he's lost his life. Now they'll go after the T4 towers. Amplify. They came out of nowhere, John. Absolutely nowhere. And now they're going to take this game. You do have 458 back up, but he's going to spend all by himself with Vivian. A nice Vortex from him, but is it enough? Where's the follow-up damage? It's not there quite yet. Ice Blast comes in. Vivian cops it. He's going to go down once again. A dieback on him, and this is all over. Amplify.
Oh,
I mean, John, 10 minutes ago, you could have told me 496 won this game 100% and I would have believed it. But Amplify out of nowhere just come out after farming for a bit and they'll take it. That'll mean, though, that 496 will not force a tiebreaker. And so now I have to confirm what the hell's going on with the admins, but
I think we have our top four. That's it. There's no ties to break. Nothing happening. You have, I believe, if I'm not going wrong here, it's Ginisbra's first, 6-1, Amplify, 5-2, Adroit and Mineski at 4-3, with the rest just gone. Unfortunately enough, again, you needed 496 to win that match to have a four-way tie for 3 spots. But with that straightforward win for Mineski, with this loss for 496, it's done. It's done, and unfortunately, the Vietnamese hopefuls, the Vietnamese stack that went the distance, doesn't manage to make it the last mile. And they had a great journey, Mike, but unfortunately, they get blocked by the Filipino squad.
the Filipinos once again, John. I'm sure you're very proud, of course. Thank you for that, John. Nevertheless, that's it for us tonight. No tiebreakers to come, so for anyone that was looking forward to them, including you and I, John, unfortunately, we will have to miss out on those. Nevertheless, big congratulations to Amplify for beating 496. John, you got any final words? We are going to head off. Of course, we'll be back for NA closed qualifiers later on this week. But we'll be back. We'll be gone for a few days. Do you have any last words for the viewers before we head out?
You know, hopefully everyone has enjoyed the Southeast Asian qualifier so far. I know me and Mike certainly did. It was a wild ride from back to end. Of course, watching Ginisbra's rise up from, well, not really obscurity, but rise beyond people's expectations and taking this group stage at very least #1 so far. Definitely the favorites going into playoffs. And you know what, Mike? They have a pretty good shot at going to TI. So hopefully everyone's enjoyed watching that. Of course, me and Mike, we will be back, as mentioned earlier, I believe for NA. That might be it, but it will be a few days, a couple of days where we're not here. But there are still a lot more qualifier games going on, so you make sure to stick around, watch through all the BTS channels. And again, if you have any feedback, any comments about me and Mike, we are on Twitter at MLPDotA and at johnxfire. Do give us a shout if you have anything to say. Give us a follow as well if you like us, and hopefully we'll catch you next time as well.
Thank you for that, John. Thank you for all the viewers. We'll see you guys very, very soon for North America. See you guys later.